Hey everyone, so I've been meaning to get in here and do this video, this live, for a very long time. And it all came about over COVID. So this is for parents who have kids and teenagers, maybe not the adult, kids. And the reason why I say this is because, and I'm just going to have to fudge. This on how this is gonna work. Hold on here. Just gotta, let's just see how long that lasts. Technology. All right. Okay. I think that's good. So this is something that I found, I guess at Christmas, and this is why I want to share this with any parent who is willing to listen, and any personal development junkie, or anyways. So have you ever heard of Stephen R Covey? So mark in the chat, or give me a thumbs up, or send some love if you've heard of Stephen R Covey. So and now this is, I don't have his book, but I have his audio. And if you're into personal development, he's the one who did 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So you might have his book in your shelf, you might have his audio book. But the thing is that he had a son whose name is Sean Covey. And now it's funny because I've got Sean's books, and he pokes fun at his dad, because if you've ever gotten his dad, it's pretty dry, I do admit. And when I listened to it, I was kind of like, I've listened to it hundreds of times in my car. And I was just like, not quite getting it, but I do get the concept. However, when I came across Sean's books, Sean's books, put the parent stuff, adult stuff away. He made these books for kids. 7 Habits of Happy Kids, with the same 7 principles of highly effective people. Now, why do I say that, and why is this important? Because these concepts, now, if you listen to Sean or Stephen as an adult and read the book, you're probably, maybe you got it, maybe you didn't. But when you dumb it down to the kid version, then you really get it. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. So I found this one first. Highly Effective Teens. I have a teenager. If you have a teenager, buy this frickin' book and read it yourself. Okay? It is so entertaining and so understanding to the ground level. You have no idea. I bought it for my daughter. We're kind of reading it together. And my kids are miserable. How can I help? Christy, get this book and read it to them. I know it's totally backwards. Oop, it is totally backwards. Sorry. 7 Habits of Happy Kids. There's 7 really short stories, and they're so understandable. Like, look, they're pictures. They're so understandable for kids. And then as an adult, you're like, oh my God, yeah, I get it. I get it. Because I'm like, let's read this. We read this over COVID. And I read 1 chapter a day. So it's got a parent corner. And literally it talks about little examples that your kids would understand. And you as an adult would probably understand too. And, oh my God, my favorite color is potato. What is that? Baba, what does that mean? Anyways, but So if you've never heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, now, they are think, win-win, seek to understand and then be understood, synergize, sharpen the saw, and, oh, that's only the first 2. But when you hear that, you're like, what exactly does that mean? Now you bring it down to like an understandable level, like if I was to talk to a teenager, if you have teenagers, then they like, what is this? What does this mean? So the first one is be proactive. So these are the 7 habits of highly effective people. Be proactive, begin with the end in mind. Now, I never got that really until I read, sadly enough, this one. And then I got it. Put first things first. You want to understand it? Just read this. Next one is think win-win. How can we both win? Next one is seek first to understand, then be understood. Right? Listening skills. Yeah, I'm not exactly 100%. And then number 6 is to synergize, so work together. And number 7 is sharpen the saw. And that's personal care, personal development, things like that. So I just had to get it. And this one is amazing. For you adults, start with this one. And then pick this one up, because as a teenager, if you have teenagers and you're sitting there and you're trying to freaking understand them, or for them to get some help through some tough times, this is the book to read. Because what's nice is that it's got lots of illustrations, it's got different fonts, and it has stories from other teenagers that your teenager, not you, are going to relate to. And so that's why I just had to get in here, because this book, like, I'm reading it right now. And like I said, I got my teenager to I think like maybe I should get rid of you. So that's, I just had to get in here, because these things could be life-changing, or maybe for you, for your kids, especially your teenager that might be going through some hard times, so they can relate to this book, because it's relatable. You might not be relatable. You might need to read this too, so you can be relatable to your teenager and work together. And then if you have miserable kids, I don't want to say miserable kids, I don't know, that are having maybe a hard time with friends, at school, this is a great one to sit down to and just read it over and over. I've read it a couple times to my kids, because we forget, right? We forget. And then, if you have your kids are having friendship, relationships issues, oddly enough, it might be related to one of these that they're having a hard time with, or they can make things better. So anyways, I just want to get in there. So if you've listened to this or read this by R Covey, go Google his son, Sean, and get the whole volume of books. And even as an adult, I would pick this one up before Stephen's. Sorry, Steve. But Sean is really funny and really relatable, and you can put this to work, and I really like it. So with that, have an amazing day. And let me know if you have been touched by any one of these books, or if you've had some good feedback from your teenager, your kids, or yourself. I'd love to know. Put it in the comments below.